Yes, ma'am, we are live.
Right. Hi everyone, I'm Variti from Careers 360 and I welcome you all to this session on grammar hacks. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we know that grammar is an indispensable part of the use of language, and having a strong grasp of the usage of grammar can exponentially enhance the quality of our spoken and written communication. So be it having a verbal conversation or writing an essay, making any school or college assignments, contacting organizations or people with a professional agenda, using grammatically correct statements such that what we mean is properly conveyed, it can be learned well with some guidelines and tips. And for exactly that, I would like to welcome our speaker for today, Ms. Usha Pandit. Hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining us for yet another session today. So, a little more about Usha, ma'am. Usha, ma'am is the founder and CEO of Mindsprings India. She has over 3 decades of academic experience in K-12 teaching. She has authored 40 books, of which 8 grammar books are used in mainstream schools. Mindsprings, her company, provides quality consultancy to schools in the areas of curriculum diagnosis, planning, teacher training, academic audit, and quality control. A much sought after teacher trainer and a champion of gifted education, she has also produced 100 YouTube videos on her channel, The Mindsprings English Teacher, of which the grammar videos are very popular. With this, I would request Usha ma'am to take us through her presentation, and post that, we shall throw open the floor for questions and answers with you all. Thank you. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I can see there are 39 students, which are more than the speaking and the writing. So grammar is something that everyone runs towards, and I really don't know why. Now, I would like to make a small correction in what Varidhi said. Grammar will not make you speak or write better. Okay. So if you've got that idea that coming here, your English is going to become amazing because you are learning grammar, it is not going to happen. For spoken English, you need to hear a lot and your tongue needs to speak. There is absolutely no way you can learn grammar and speak English. Same thing with writing. Grammar is like the engine of a car. Okay. Now, if you know all the mechanics, you know where the carburetor is and what the various tubes are in the car and how you do this, and you become a mechanic. Do you think you can drive the car? You'll go and hit a tree if you try to drive the car after learning the mechanics of the car. Similarly, you simply cannot speak or do anything with English if you are going to learn grammar. It's like the engine of the car. But if you can drive and you learn the mechanics of a car, then you will save yourself a lot of money and you know exactly how to drive it. And if there are problems, you'll be able to open the bonnet and find out what is wrong. All that is good. So grammar is good after you learn to speak and you learn to write basics. So if your English is poor, guys, please make sure that you watch my first video, which was about speaking in English, and you follow some of the tips that I gave you there. Today, what we are doing is examination oriented, which means in every exam, in every big exam that you are likely to give in the future, there will be a small amount of grammar. Okay. The higher the exam or the greater the challenge or the greater the competition in the exam, the harder the grammar will become. Why is this? When you can't speak and write with grammar, why are they putting so much pressure on grammar? You might ask. Now, there are a whole lot of people who don't do any grammar. So why are they putting so much pressure on grammar? It's a process by which they eliminate you in an exam. So if there are 2 lakhs of students coming for a job or for an admission where there are only 2,000 seats, how do they get rid of you? They cannot sit and correct 2 lakh papers. They'll waste time. So they put 1 grammar question, which will have about 10 items, 10 marks, and they will make the computer correct that. I'm telling you, out of 2 lakhs, everyone will go for a toss and you will find that there are only about maybe 3,000, 4,000 children who got it right. Finished. Elimination is over. Very easy, very quick. There is only 1 correct answer. It's perfect for eliminating students, grammar. So this is why grammar is done to death. The unfortunate thing is grammar is taught badly in your schools. And so if you, when I do this video, if you find that, oh, I don't know this, I can't understand this, I don't know what she's saying. If you go like this, please point all the fingers to yourself, because it means that you have not been taught properly. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my presentation. It's not like I'm doing something that nobody understands. But if you haven't been taught properly, you would have forgotten everything that you learned before. And this is what happens in schools. Today, I'm going to take you through a lot of little bits, and I want you to pay attention. Now, just because you understand it when I'm talking, it doesn't mean that you will remember it tomorrow. You will not. 100% you will forget. Until you practice grammar exercises like you do maths. Now, if I show you how to do division one day, you will understand it. But then if you don't do it for 10 days, you will forget it. It's like that. It's exactly like math. So if you don't practice it and you don't internalize it, you will not catch grammar. If you internalize it, you will never forget it. Then you can apply it everywhere and you will be perfect. Anybody says anything, you will be able to catch it. So this is the secret of grammar. Practice. For practice, I've made books from grade 1 to grade 7. If you are in a higher class and you already know grammar, you should probably pick up the 5th, 6th or 7th grade language with ease. Buy it, practice with it. Answers are on Kindle. You don't work with grammar, it will never be yours. Okay? And every exam that you do in the future, you will have a small component of grammar. So, okay, without further ado, let me start my PPT. Let me share screen. There we are. Let us go to the start. Okay. Great. So today is the third session and this is grammar, and let's look at grammar hacks. So there are many complications in grammar and therefore we want hacks. Hacks doesn't mean you just say, here is a shortcut. Chalo karte hain. It won't happen like that. Please understand the grammar and then do the hacking. Okay. So this is something to remember. I will do some basic complications, and there are many complications in grammar. You understand the complications, you'll be fine. I think I already talked to you about this, so I'm not going to repeat it. Function is the most important word in grammar, the function of grammar. So when you say that is a noun, you need to ask in the sentence, what does it do? Function means what does the word do in the sentence? Function. Just remember this word, very important word. What does it do? A word is not automatically a part of speech. If I say the word light, it doesn't mean that it is automatically a noun. If I say the light was poor, then it's a noun. What was poor? The light. Noun. The light color suits you. What kind of color? Light color. Adjective. I am going light on my lunch. Going how? Light. Which means I'm not going to eat much. Adverb. The light, I light the lamps every day. Action, verb. So you see the same word light, depending on how you use it in a sentence, the part of speech will change. So do not jump at light and say noun, 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 noun. It will be wrong. So be very careful. Function is everything. There is something to remember. Now I've given you several words: smart, lead, pan, spelt, everything you can take and try to do this. Sometimes you may not get an adverb, sometimes you may not get an adjective, but at least one or two things you will be able to change it. You will be able to use it as a function. Now let's hack the noun group. Let's show you where the problems are in the noun group. Noun is very easy. You'll say, oh, what is their name, place, animal thing? We have all done it in school. Oh, it's so easy. The difficult part in the noun group is that abstract noun. Okay? Abstract noun is the neglected noun. Ab kya hota hai? They in primary, they'll do common, proper, collective. And then when they come to abstract, they jump through it. They don't do it properly. But that is the hardest noun. So the abstract noun is not just the name of a quality, but it's also the name of an idea, of a feeling, of an institution. Everything is an abstract noun. It will end in these endings. So I hope you're taking screenshots. If you don't get this video again, or if you get the video again, watch it again. But all those endings are abstract nouns. Something to remember. You see this word ment, ship, could, see, itty, ism, abstract noun. You can close your eyes and say abstract noun. Like atheist, I've given you all the words. Now, if you look at the abstract noun, just bhari words, very good words. You use some of these words in your essays, you will get very good marks. So the abstract noun is a very, very, robust part of English. Let us do an ID check. Let's say, what is a noun? Now, if I see the word cowardice, I might call it an adjective because I'll say, it looks like an adjective. People do this. Teachers do this. So I trained about 800 teachers during the pandemic, and teachers' grammar was terrible. So they would look at it and say, Miss, it looks like a adjective. Don't do this. Find out what work it is doing. Now, if you want a noun, if you want to find out if it's a noun, what do you need to do? You need to put a article in front of it. If I can say the cowardice is terrible, then if I can put a the in front of it, or an or an, then it is likely to be a noun. Now, a noun is often a subject of a verb. So cowardice is, I can say cowardice is, cowardice was, cowardice should be. I can put a verb after it. Cowardice is a terrible thing. Now, what else can I do for a noun check? Is it an idea? Cowardice? Yes, it's a quality. It's a sort of a quality. Yes, so it sounds correct. And a determiner, like I told you, it will also be an object of a preposition. Preposition like of, or to, or with. You cannot go around with this cowardice. If I say that, with what? With cowardice. Prepositions, object. So the noun has got 4 ID checks. In case you have never learned it, there's something to remember. Every time you come across a problem, you must remember that a noun is the object of a preposition. That means after a preposition, you will get a noun. And in multiple places, it will make your way easy if you remember this. But just because I told you today, if you think, oh, I'll remember, I got it, I'll remember, you are mistaken. In 1 month from now, if you try to remember what I said here today, you will have forgotten. You will only remember it if you start working with it. Every day, if you're coming across a sentence and you come across an of, to, with, on, in, etc., and then you find a noun after it and you say, there's a noun. Preposition, noun, you'll catch it. You'll never forget. Then you'll take it to your grave. See, this is how it works. You either take it to your grave or you'll forget it. There are no in-betweens in grammar. Noun forms. Now there are phrases. The problem is if you just see a noun, you say, array, that's a noun. Very easy. One word. But if you see a group of words, you get confused. In the pink lacy dress. Suppose if I give you that phrase. Why am I calling it a phrase? In the pink lacy dress. Because there is no verb in it. If there is no verb in a group of words, it's a phrase. If I put a verb into it, it becomes a clause. If you don't know this, this is something to learn. Many people don't know these things. They look at a group of words and they'll say, oh, that's a verb, that's anything at all. And then they try to learn grammar through shortcuts in some YouTube Hindi video, where that fellow will dance around and tell you many things. But then it's not enough. You will not get it. So remember phrase and clause ka difference. Clause has a verb. Clause has a verb. Phrase does not have a verb. Now there are questions. Now there are certain questions that are to be put to either of the verb or the noun. To the noun, you can only ask questions who or which, something like that, what kind, something like that, and it will give you an adjective. If I say pretty girl, which girl? Pretty girl. I have to ask the noun, girl, which? It will give me big house, which house? Big. Adjective. It will not be an adverb. Everything else you have to ask the verb. What are the questions we ask the verbs? Now, when we ask the question, the verb, we get either an adverb or we get a noun. The noun, you ask who or what. The girl is pretty. Who is the girl? The mouse began to run. Who began? The mouse. Began what? To run. This what will always give you a noun. Now you'll say to run is noun, miss? It is. It's an infinitive. And the function is a noun. What? Remember, guys, questions are very important. Okay? ये question अगर आप पूछोगे, you will catch it. Ask who or what to the verb, not to the noun, and you will catch the noun if you ask it to the verb. So for noun, ask the verb. For adjective, ask the noun. So this is the rule. Just write these things down, and whenever you see a sentence, ask yourself, is it, just do some self-study and you will get it. For adverb, all the other questions. When, why, where, how, what if, although, what, all of these questions, if you ask the verb, you will get the adverb. So this is your basic clause and phrase. Okay, adverb, noun, adjective. These are your subordinate clauses, in case you have learned them in school. So in the noun, there is another complication. Like I told you, the mouse began to run. What is to run? It is called an infinitive, to plus the verb. It does the function of a noun. Similarly, if I say dancing is fun, what is fun? Dancing. If I ask the question to is, what is dancing? ING word, gerund. We'll do more about gerunds in a bit. But remember, gerunds are those ING words which does not have a helper in front of it. If I say she is dancing all day, then is dancing will become a verb because it's telling a continuous tense, dancing all the time. But if dancing it does not have anything in front of it like is, was, will be, should be, etc. Alone, if it comes ING word in front of a verb, it is a gerund. Most of the times, not always. We'll do that complication also. So remember these tips. The noun can be many things. The noun is not just name, place, animal, thing. Ha, ho gaya, noun is over. Nah. Noun has got all these problems. So aram se look at this and ask yourself, hey, what is a noun? Gerund is a noun, infinitive is a noun. So many things are coming as nouns, phrases and clauses. This is it. Nominalization means everything can be transformed. So if I give you a verb, I tell you, chalo, make it a noun. You should be able to make it a noun. And you should do an ID check to find out if it's a noun. So for example, if I give you the word lovely, what is a noun? I can't say the lovely. I have to say the lovely girl. I'm talking about the girl. Which girl? Lovely girl. So lovely is an adjective. Now, if I want to change it into a noun, I will put one of these. I'll put that ness, loveliness. The loveliness was stunning. The loveliness. The dal diya uske samne. It is a noun. Similarly, eat, eatery. Eatery is a place, name, place, animal, thing. Similarly, beautiful is an adjective and beauty is the noun, abstract. This is your noun group. Just because I told you, you won't get it. You will have to practice. You will have to practice. But it's good to know. If you don't know anything and you are just walking around trying to solve some very quick shortcut somewhere, ye aisa karo, ye idhar dalo, if you see this, do that. If you take this kind of tips, you will be in trouble. Take a little trouble and you will be good, because all your other exams in future, you are likely to have a grammar component. Hacking adjectives. Now let's come to adjectives. An adjective always has a noun attached to it. They're like husband and wife. If you have an adjective, it will have a noun. Because what will the adjective do alone? What is it describing? It has to describe something. It has to describe a noun. So look for the noun. Where is the noun? If somebody says it's an adjective, say where is the noun? Always, always. Okay. Some adjectives come before the noun. They're called attributive, and some come after. This is a complication. If I can say the pretty girl, what kind of girl? Pretty, adjective. Or I can say the girl is pretty. Now, when I say is pretty, pretty is coming after the verb. That is also an adjective, and it's what you call the predicative adjective. So it can come before or after. Are past participle adjectives. This is another one. So you have these things called past participles, like taken, tired, eaten, gone, many like that. These are called past participles. An easy way to find a past participle is to put had. Had gone, had taken, had eaten, had slept, had come, had gone. If you put had and then ask for the verb, you will get the correct past participle. Then get rid of that had. And only what is left, that is your past participle. Okay. So had we are going to use only to get the past participle. Once we get it, we are going to throw the had out. So now your past participle is also an adjective. How? That is the question. So if I say the girl was tired, the tired is telling me more about the girl. It's not a verb. Was tired is not a verb. The girl was tired. I can say the girl was happy. I can say the girl was sweet. I can say the girl was beautiful. All are adjectives. The girl was tired. Tired is also an adjective. So you will find that past participles will be part of adjectives. The fallen snow. The fallen snow made the land white. Fallen, therefore, is an adjective. Adjective or passive verb. Ab kya hota hai? When you have was, like I say, was broken. The broken was is very clear. Before the noun, you've got an adjective. But if I say the vase was broken, it is also an adjective because it's coming after was. But you will say, Miss, what about passive voice? Suppose I say the vase was broken by the boy. Was broken is passive voice. So guys, passive voice and this past participle adjective are an overlap. Now you say, how can you overlap like that? You can, because the meaning of both are the same. So therefore, this is one of those things where there is an overlap in the label and both are correct. Okay, because the meaning is the same. If the meaning was different, we would have had a problem. Adjective functions are, this is a good one to have if you want to describe something in something like, let us say you want to write an essay and you want to describe a tablecloth, then, and you can't think of anything, then these words come in handy. It's called dosa's com. Khane ka dosa and com, composition. Just remember this dosa's com. And what are they? They're determiners, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. These are the number of kinds of adjectives we have. And if you look at this sentence, the wonderful, the is an adjective because it means one. Wonderful is an opinion. You might say wonderful, I might say rubbish. Large, size, age, ancient, oblong shape, color, brown, Chinese origin, material, wooden, and purpose, writing, table. Now, you don't put so many adjectives in front of a noun. You can put about 2 or 3, but this helps you to generate adjectives. That is the beauty of this dosa's com. But just giving you just extra that I'm giving. Complication is adjectives or pronouns, verb or adjective. Abhi, you will have a confusion in this. There is something called a possessive adjective and a possessive pronoun. Teachers constantly make a mistake on this. So if I say Radha's bag, what is Radha's? They will say Radha is a proper noun and it's a proper noun possessive. They'll call it something like that, which is fine. You do say all that. But it is essentially what is the function? Whose bag? Radha's. Adjective. What kind of adjective? Possessive. Now, instead of the proper noun, I can put a pronoun, her bag. What is her? Adjective, possessive adjective. Now, you say, some people will look at her and say, Miss, it's possessive pronoun because her is a pronoun. Yes, her is a pronoun, but it is not a possessive pronoun. It is a possessive adjective. So what is the difference? Look at the possessive adjectives. My mother, your sister, her brother, his daughter, your class, our house, their prime minister. All are followed by a noun. What did I tell you? Adjective will be followed by a noun. These are all golden rules. Object of preposition is a noun. Adjectives will be followed by a noun. Ye ratto. Don't forget these rules. You'll never go wrong. So possessive adjective will always be followed by a noun. What are possessive pronouns? Pronoun is what stands in place of a noun. Now, when something is standing in place of a noun, how can you have a noun after that? Not possible. It has to stand, for something. So therefore, mine. The bag is mine. Mine meaning Usha's. The brother is yours. Yours meaning whatever your name is. So therefore, all those are pronouns because they stand in place of a person or a thing or an animal or something like that. After mine, yours, you cannot put a noun. Try. Yours letter. Can you say that? It will be wrong English. So therefore, that is the difference between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Something to remember, people make a mistake. Verb or adjective. This is another one. Now, participles are ing words. I told you that participles are ing words. Now, if you have a present participle, it will be an ing word. For example, if I say swimming ducks, what kind of ducks? Swimming. Now you'll say, oh, swimming is a verb. Swimming is not a verb. The ducks are swimming. There are swimming is a verb because it is a continuous action, continuous tense. So participles make continuous tenses, but when they come alone, they are called participles, which are adjectives. All these videos I've got on my channel. Aram se go and see, and because I'm teaching them, and you will understand. So participle ing words make continuous tenses. She is laughing at them. It will have some sort of at them all the time. Something it will have afterwards. And sometimes they are the laughing children. There is no helper. The is laughing children, we don't say. The laughing children, telling you more about children. So this is verb or adjective confusion. The chirping birds, the birds were chirping. Adjectives are always attached to a noun. I'm telling you this again and again and again and again. So participles will also be always attached to a noun. If you want to know if it's a participle, look for the noun and ask the noun, is it telling me something more about this? If it is telling you more about the noun, it is a participle. If it is the subject of a verb, it is a gerund. So ing words are gerunds or participles. Abhi gerund participle bola to sabke pasine chhoot jate hain. Shouldn't, because they are simple. If you understand it properly, it is very, very easy. So ask if the ing word is describing a noun or whether it is the subject of a noun. And you will catch it. Adjectives and pronouns, I think we already did this, but it's not just his and her. Sometimes you will have adjectives like some bags, his shirt, that was, each child, whose book, few cities, all these are adjectives. So when you see words like this, you don't know what they are. So you will be able to tell. Now, if you want a pronoun, you'll say some are Rumi, that is his. That is pretty. See, there's no noun after it. Each is important. Whose is this? Few are bigger. No noun anywhere. Pronoun. So then the same words which are adjective are also pronouns. But after an adjective, you will get a noun. After a pronoun, you will not get a noun. That is the mool mantra. Just remember it, write it down somewhere and think about it. Verbs and its imposters. I told you gerunds, participles, infinitives. There can be no sentence without a verb. Okay. Abhi, in all your simple, compound, complex sentences, the biggest mistake people make is they do not pick out the verbs properly. If you don't pick out the verbs properly, you will never get it right. This is something to remember. I've done lots of videos. Go and take a look at it. That's the best way to learn. Even if you have one word in a sentence like go, it is going to be a verb. So verb is critical. Okay. The imposter. There are some things that look like verbs but are not verbs. They are gerunds, participles, and infinitives. Three chores are there. They look like imposter. They look like, it means they're pretending to be verbs, but they are not verbs. An ing word without a helper before it, if you don't have is, was, were, etc., then it is not a verb. If I say swimming is my hobby, what is my hobby? Swimming. Gerund, noun. I can say chess is my hobby. Will you say chess is a verb? Abhi ing dekh ke you can't say, oh, verb. You can't do this. Oh, I can swim like this. It is verb. You can't. Because swimming does not have is swimming, was swimming, nothing in front of it. And it is the subject of a noun. It's a gerund. The problem comes when you get a bigger phrase. Swimming in the lake is my hobby. Once I put a big phrase, people break into a sweat. Swimming in the lake is my hobby. It's the same as swimming is my hobby. I'm just extending it, isn't it? So therefore, you can have a noun or a noun phrase. It will still be a noun. And it's called a special name for an ing word is a gerund. Only ing words are called gerunds. Okay, not ordinary nouns. If I say swimming ducks, then it becomes an adjective rule. Which ducks? Swimming ducks. There is no is swimming, was swimming. So it's an ing word. Is it a gerund or a participle? It's a participle because it's telling me more about the noun ducks. And therefore, swimming ducks. Now again, I can extend it and say swimming in the lake. The ducks looked peaceful. See? Swimming in the lake, I can make it into a bigger one. Swimming in the lake is swimming in the lake, the ducks. Whenever in doubt, do what is called a finger check, which means you run your finger along. Swimming in the lake, and then I will hit verb. If I hit the verb, it is it's a gerund. Swimming in the lake, the ducks. I hit a noun, it's a participle. That simple it is. So do it. I like to swim. To plus the verb is an infinitive, and it's normally it is a noun. I like what? To swim. Noun function, but it's what we call an infinitive. It is not a verb. The ID rules of nouns will apply to gerunds and infinitives. Okay. Adverbs are intensely informative. One of the mistakes that a lot of students make, or a lot of teachers have made in the primary classes, is to say an adverb tells you more about a verb. Khatam. An adverb tells you more about a verb, and it tells you more about an adjective, and it tells you more about another adverb. That is the definition of an adverb. Don't forget. So if I say he ran quickly, quickly is an adverb. Ran how quickly? But I can say he ran very quickly, telling you more about the adverb quickly. That is also, if I say she is very pretty, that very is telling me more about pretty, how pretty, very pretty, adjective. So therefore, all these are adverbs. Remember, it gives you more information. Now, if I say he ran, doesn't tell me anything. How did he run? I have no idea. Just he ran. The thief ran, if I tell you. You say, acha, okay, but you can't really see it. Now, if I say the thief ran, how, why, when, where, although, what, on what condition, compared to what, consequent to what, all of them then become adverbs that are telling you more about the verb run. Ran how quickly, ran when, now, ran then, ran after some time, clause, phrase, everything I can put. But if it answers these questions, ran where, ran why, ran on being chased, ran because he was chased, phrase, clause, jo bhi you put, if you answer these questions, if you ask the verb and you get these answers, they are adverbs. I told you, questions are very important. So Aram say, look at this and find out how adverbs are caught. Catch the adverb. Prepositions are small yet powerful. Prepositions, chote words. If I say the house is near the mountain, near is a preposition. There's a mountain and then there's a house and it's close together. If I say the house is on the mountain, the house jump karke, it will go on top of the mountain. If I say the house is behind the mountain, you won't see the house at all. So all these preposition words are words that will move the house all over the place. That is how powerful they are, prepositions. So, prepositions and adverbs share the same words. Abhi dekho complication. It never leaves you. Suppose I say he ran away. What is away? Is it a preposition or is it a adverb? What is it? He ran to his mother. He fell down. He fell down and he fell down the stairs. Are they the same? These are the questions. Now, if you say away, the house is away from the mountain. Away, therefore, you will tell me, of course, away, you told me it's a preposition, it's a preposition. But if I say he went away, it's an adverb. How do I tell the difference, miss? What did I tell you? The preposition will have an object. Golden rule. Look for the noun after the preposition. He fell down what? The stairs. Noun. Preposition. He fell down. Nothing after that. Adverb. Simple. Prepositions are always followed by object nouns. Adverbs are not. So this is something to remember. Now I've got what is called a nest of boxes, which you might want to look at. I call it P, Nan, P. P, Nan, P. It's very easy. The school is near. So this whole sentence may, if you put near and then all this, it's a prepositional phrase. The whole thing. Near what? And then the whole thing is a prepositional phrase. Now, if I cut out the near and just take the and then up to statue, it's a noun phrase. If I cut the and statue, take out the nouns, it becomes an adjective phrase. So it's like a nest of boxes. Preposition ke andar noun, uske andar adjective. That is how it works. These prepositional phrases can either be adjectival or they can be adverbial. Adjectival if they tell you more about a noun. Adverbial if they tell you more about the verb. This is something again to remember. Always ask, are they telling me more about the noun or are they telling me more about the verb? And you will get your answer. There is no special function for that prepositional phrase. It has to either be adjectival or it has to be adverbial. It cannot, on its own, it has got absolutely no function. It can just show me position, it can show me direction, it can show me time. But that whole thing will always tell me either more about somebody or it will tell me something about an action. Okay, so read that carefully and understand what I told you. Another very good trick I've got is I say reduce, substitute, and extend. Okay, now what do I mean by that? If I say the girl in awe of her highly talented and extremely arrogant princess of the highly talented blah, 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 was tongue-tied. What is my base sentence? I'm saying the girl was tongue-tied. Hai na? All this andar ka masala will actually confuse me. Completely confuse me. So what I tell people is, usko reduce karo. Take out all the noise and make it into a simple word. I will just get the odd girl was tongue-tied. So odd can be reduced from that big one. I have reduced it to odd. So if the odd girl now is an adjective, which girl, odd girl. So that entire thing in, oh, blah, 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 arrogant princess, blah, 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 is an adjectival phrase. If it's got a verb, it will be an adjectival clause. It's very simple. If you catch it like that, it's simple. If you don't catch it like that, it will kill you. Sentences like this. And if you are planning to go abroad, my dears, you will have to do sentences that are that big in order to get there. At that time, you will run around, you will pay some lakhs of rupees and sit in some classes, and that man will kill you with the grammar. Don't do it. Understand it properly. Do yourself a favor. That is simplification. Substitution is where you take that long thing in of the highly talented blah, 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 and you make a small substitute phrase. Suppose I say the girl, I forget about that all talented and all too much noise, just make a small phrase. In the pink dress was tongue-tied. Can I say that? Yes. What have I done? I have substituted it. Like I told you, swimming is fun. Substitution, chess is fun. Golf is fun. All are gerunds. You cannot substitute a noun with an adjective, an adverb with a noun and all. You simply cannot do it. It has like for like is a substitution. Extension is when you take the same sentence and you expand it. Who was completely in awe? I can go on expanding that sentence and I will get a really nice, good sentence for writing. Again, I have given you another sentence which you can look at slowly, aram se, when you finish with this and try to work out how substitution, reduction, and extension are great strategies for checking out whether what part of speech is it? Is it adverbial or is it adjective? Conjunctions. Conjunctions or adverbs. Now, conjunctions are again small words. They join together. Ram and Sita, rich but poor, ye but yet, vagara, chote things that join two things together. Ram was sleeping when and Sita took the child to school. So when you put that and there, they come together. Both, it appears like they are a family. But if I just say Ram was sleeping, full stop. Sita took the girl to school. They may be in two different states. Ram may be in Mumbai and Sita may be in Chennai. They may not be related. That and puts it together. See? A conjunction, that is this power of a conjunction. It joins ideas together. Abhi, the problem comes when you ask, when you have these conjunctions in your complex sentences. So Ram was sleeping when Sita took the child to school. When? Is it an adverb or is it a conjunction? Some people will ask. It is both. It is both because it's telling you the time, but it's also joining two sentences together. So that is your adverb and conjunction wala problem. Sometimes they are both. Sometimes you have what is called these transitional words. Meanwhile, moreover, consequently, finally, vagara, they are all time words. Now, these time words are typically, what are they? Are they adverbs or are they conjunctions? This is what they are called conjunctive adverbs. Because they join two paragraphs and they are also adverbs. But you cannot take yet, but and all that chote words and then call them adverbs because they have no sense of time or place. What is an adverb? It tells you time, place, condition, concession, vagara, vagara, vagara. So if there is no element of an adverb, it cannot be called an adverb. It's a plain conjunction. But meanwhile, consequently, finally, and all have got time sitting in it. It's called a conjunctive adverb. Okay, so this is the conjunction wala problem. Active to passive hack. This is a good hack. So you got a passive ka formula. Passive voice ka formula, which is to be plus past participle plus by. This is your formula. You have to just mug it. Active voice, I told her. Told is a verb. Passive voice, she was told by me. What has happened? We have interchanged those. Oops, sorry. We have interchanged these two. I has gone here and her has come here. So she was told by me. Was is to be, told is past participle, by me, passive. If you want to change it back to active, just cut was, cut by, just take out the to be and take out the by automatically, and you will get, and you change back and you will get I told her. So it's one of those arrangement of words. That verb to be has got only certain forms. That to be there will come as is or are, was or were, being and been. All these words will signal to you if it's got a past participle after it, like are taken, is eaten, was found. All these are passive. Straight away passive. Has been taken, is being taken. Iske baad past participle aaya to you can be sure it's a passive. So when you read something, look for these passive verbs. That is the way to make it yours. And if you can catch them, then the minute you see the sentence, you know it's passive voice. Straight away, even without doing anything. So it's that simple if you can practice it. Cut these and the passive component just goes away and it becomes active. Some verbs, intransitive verbs, cannot be made passive at all. So if I say she went home, I cannot change it into passive. I cannot say home was gone by her, can I? Intransitive, cannot transit. I and her can go here, can be exchanged. Home and she cannot be exchanged because that verb went, to go, is an intransitive verb, will not transit. And an easy way to find the participle, I told you, just put had and then put whatever comes, whatever your mind says, had gone, had taken, had eaten. And then just cut the had, and what is left there is your past participle. In case you say, I don't know what the past participle of the verb is, that's an easy way to do it. So guys, I come to the end of what I'm going to do today. There are other hacks also. Do visit the channel and you will be able to do more. This is the book Language with Ease. You take those books, practice, answers are on Kindle, and you will be very good. Grammar will not go away. It will be there for a long time with you. And you will win all those competitions, like I told you. That grammar test is the make or break of competitive exams. So it is worth doing grammar. Okay, I'm ready to take your questions if you have any.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation, ma'am. We do have a few questions that we would want to put across. So one is, so where do we start with grammar? Like at one point in time, everybody was directed to Wren and Martin. So is that still necessary?
See, Wren and Martin was done by people like me 50 years ago. The world has changed. I think Wren and Martin has also changed. See, the question always is, do you know grammar? That is the question here. After doing 12 years, 13 years, 14 years of grammar, is your grammar okay? So if I give you a sentence, can you parse it? Can you pick out? Now, what all that I told you, some of you don't even know what I've talked about. You will feel like that. I told you in the beginning, it's not my fault. You don't know. You have to be worried if you have not understood. If you switch off and say, नहीं वो YouTube में कोई dear sir है, उसका हम सुनेंगे video, आपको नहीं आएगा. Your grammar, you don't know grammar because you haven't learned it properly. Whether you did Renan Martin or whether you did Usha Pandit's Language with Ease, bottom line is, do you know or do you not know? So that is my answer. तो Renan Martin करके आपको आ गया तो फिर ठीक है, no worries. But आपको अगर नहीं आया, suppose you can't tell. If I write the word some people, and if you don't know what some is, or if I say dancing around the trees, and you don't know what dancing around the trees is, you cannot parse it. You cannot tell me it's a phrase. You cannot tell me it could be a gerund or a participle. Tell me whether it is followed by a noun or a verb. If you can't tell these things, and if it sounds like Greek and Latin to your ears, clearly your grammar has been a failure. I am telling you with 100%, what shall we say, conviction, grammar is a failure. मैं बोल रही हूँ ना, it is a failure. आप teachers को पूछो, they will not know the grammar. Because I'll tell you why it is like that. It is linear. हम क्या करते हैं, noun के बाद pronoun, pronoun के बाद adjective. We go like that, no? Right. What is your syllabus? Syllabus is going like this in a line. So by the time you come to pronoun, you've forgotten the preposition. By the time you come to conjunction, you are confused about the adverb. You forget. There's a forgetting cycle. What I do is I give you a full sentence. So you will do one full sentence every day and you parse it every day. So if I say if you say Ram went to school, so went is a verb, Ram is a noun, school is a noun, to is a preposition. Yeah, aapne kiya. Tomorrow I'll tell you Sita did her homework. Sita is a noun, this is a verb, this is a verb. Aap roj karoge, roj all the parts of speech you will do. It is layered. So it's a horizontal system. It's a layering system. Like this it goes. Aapka jo method hai, it's going like this. So ye upar ka sa, you will forget. Monday you will do possessive adjective, then you will do possessive pronoun, then another day you will do demonstrative adjective, then you will do demonstrative pronoun. Ye sab alag-alag years mein your Renan Martin will do. You will fail. You won't know. If you can't do it, it's a failure in my book. But if you know it, then your book is successful. So you have to change the way you learn. Okay? Change to language with ease.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a question from Khadim Hussain, ma'am. He asks, what is the difference between a conjunction and an interjection?
Interjection is the simplest part of speech. Interjection is, oh, wow, alas,
okay.
heck. ऐसे जो छोटे-छोटे words है, it's basically an interjection gives you an emotion. You know, like when you say, wow, you don't have to write so much. This is so amazing. I am completely stunned. इतना सब लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just say wow. So interjection. The exclamation mark डालना है उसको.
Okay. Okay. So in the beginning of the webinar only, ma'am, you said that grammar doesn't necessarily lead to better spoken or written language. Yeah. But looking at it the other way around, does reading enhance the way we use grammar? I mean, does reading have a positive impact on our capacity?
See, everything will have some impact on you, provided you are mindful. तो इवन ग्रामर अगर हमने बहुत ही बारीकी से पे अटेंशन फोकस करके इफ यू डू समथिंग इट विल रब ऑफ ऑन यू. सो व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग देयर आर मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ रीडिंग. अभी रीडिंग एक होता है वेयर आई जस्ट कंज्यूम बुक्स. ओके, कंज्यूम बुक्स मींस मैंने फिक्शन उठाया, हैरी पॉटर खत्म किया, उसके बाद हमने ये शुरू किया, फिर उसके बाद वो शुरू किया, देन आई कीप ऑन रीडिंग द वो विंची कोड किया, ये किया, वो किया, व्हाटएवर बुक्स कम आई कीप रीडिंग. ये इसको बोलते हैं कंजम्पशन. इट बिकम्स लाइक जंक फूड. तो मैंने सिर्फ अभी सम वर्ड्स विल रब ऑफ ऑन मी बट इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट आई विल बी एबल टू रिमेंबर एंड यूज देम इन माय राइटिंग और इन माय स्पीकिंग. ठीक है, सो दिस इज वन काइंड. नाउ सम पीपल हैव फोटोग्राफिक मेमोरीज. Some people, when they read, they remember entire phrases and they can use it in their writing. But those people are not common. Most people forget. They just read for the story. कोई भी book आपने जो पढ़ा है, you just think about it, and you say आपको क्या याद है. अभी Da Vinci Code everybody has read. What do you remember? and you will not even remember the story.
Hmm.
But you have read it with so much interest when you were reading it, you can't remember what it was about because you consumed it. You did not pay attention. Abhi jo books, when we do it in school, we do it very thoroughly. We do critical thinking with it. We do characterization with it. You are more likely to remember your Great Expectations or Shakespeare or something that you did in school. Then you will remember the fiction novels that you picked up in a library or bookstore and read. Now that is the difference between reading mindfully and reading for fun.
Okay.
So reading will rub off on you, but the more mindful you are, the better you will get. I would say go to the newspaper. Last time when I did communicating, I told you, no? Aapka jo, you will never be asked to write a story. You will be asked to write a report. You will be asked to make a presentation. For all that, you need academic language, and you will find it in the newspaper. So read the newspaper aloud so that the ear can hear, the tongue can say it, the ear eyes see, and brain processes. 20 minutes a day, every day, for a long time, many years, read the newspaper, vocabulary will build.
Okay. Yes, sir. So one final question for today, ma'am, before we wind this up. So what would your suggestions be for somebody who's past the school age and is looking at improving their grammar?
They'll have to see, grammar is something that you have to work on. It's like maths. If you say मेरा school खत्म हो गया, मैंने I've done multiplication का tables तक करके मैंने छोड़ दिया. अभी मेरे को ना trigonometry करने का है. What will my advice be? Can I give you any shortcut?
No.
No, you have to do. So you have to. But the good news is that if you are an older person, first of all, you are more committed because you are saying, I want to learn. Your parents are not forcing you to sit there. So that is an advantage. And secondly, because you are older and your processing is mature, आपका जो वो journey है वो जल्दी निकल जाएगा. You may not take the same amount of time as a 8-year-old and then a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old to understand it. Your understanding might be quicker, but you will have to walk through the journey. You cannot do it. You cannot say, oh, I've finished school. Abhi mere ko. You can't, don't say I can't do it. And you don't say that I will take another 10 years to learn it. It's not like that. But you have to practice. Practice nahi kiya to nahi aayega. No matter who teaches you, you won't get it until you have to internalize it. So when I see an adverb, I should be able to say that's an adverb. So it's like that. It's like how when you look at a math, suppose I give you a sum and you get the answer. A maths teacher will look at the answer and say it's wrong. And how? Because it's obvious. She just looks at the pattern and she catches it. That is called expertise. Or if I give you an equation, you should be able to apply that equation on something that is unknown. Then I can say you have mastered math. वही book में रटा रटाया, if you mug it up and then vomit it out in an exam and you get 98 in math, that is not math. बाहर जाके they give you one of those GMAT sums, you will die. So it has to be learned properly and it has to be internalized. Okay?
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody else, guys, if you want more grammar, please go to the YouTube channel because there I'm actually teaching and you will be able to view the videos over and over again and then do exercise. I've also given a lot of exercises. So wo karo, books load, do it every day. One day, one sentence only you do. Don't overload. One sentence per day. And then you will, repeated practice is what you need. उसको सीख के छोड़ दिया, सीख के छोड़ दिया, सीख के छोड़ दिया, सीख के छोड़ दिया, it will not sit with you. It will be lost. And all the effort that you put will be wasted. And you are already seeing it in your own, education. So how much grammar you know today is the extent to which your teachers or your books have been successful. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for another very informative and comprehensive session. And thank you everyone else for joining us. We have another session with Usha ma'am 15 days from now, which is on the 16th of September, and we will be talking about vocabulary building. So please do join us for that as well. And yeah, thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Good luck.